Maki is an ugly, certified Rizzed loner with absolutely zero social skills in his miserable life. He's the type of guy who steals his mom's credit card to fund his H-anime subscriptions and practices for Gunnar Olympics by watching the ugly bastard lead hentai genre. Since birth, his mom has been his one and only friend, now obviously. Not the Alabama way. You creeps. What you all thinking? Until one fateful day, the second prettiest girl with the fattest cake once pays him a visit, only to end up getting hooked by his pent-up otaku pheromones. Since then, she starts showing up at his house every Friday for what could indirectly be called cream puffing sessions.
What do you mean by that?
And by all accounts, my legendary plot masters. They get up to a very generous amount of legendary business together. Hi, I'm Zach, and welcome to my channel, Any King Plot. Today, we're recapping an anime with a bizarre cultural name called I Cream Puffed and Made Pals with the second fattest bakery in my class. If you're enjoying this series and want to dive deeper into its plot, be sure to stick around till the end of the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my channel, as it really helps me a lot and keeps me motivated to bring more anime recaps every week. So without further ado, let's continue the recap. The story kicks off with one completely ordinary morning. Maki walks past a group of baddies loudly gossiping about the boys they've been toying with, roasting them for being pathetic, unable to stay rock solid, and generally not worth anyone's time. Suddenly, faster than Yami Sukahiro takes a dump, his phone buzzes. It's a WhatsApp message from one of the girls in that very group. Her name is Umi. She's suggesting they hang out at his place after school. She looks up at him and smiles. His virgin brain cell short-circuits completely. We rewind a few months before they met, beginning of a brand new school term in spring. It's Maki's favorite season for reasons that have everything to do with the fact that this is statistically the term where the most cheeks get clapped across campus. Everyone is buzzing with kinky energy until the homeroom teacher walks in, who immediately kills the vibe because she is flatter than a flatbread and introduces herself as Ms. Sophie the Surfboard, which is a name that demands no further commentary. She gives a quick personal bio, passes out blank self-introduction sheets, and then plays eeny meeny miny mo to pick who goes first. And because some cursed witch in a parallel dimension clearly has it out for him, Maki gets selected. His single brain cell internally screams. On his sheet, the teacher notices he transferred from a school in Tokyo. They're currently in Kyoto. She asks if he's from this area. He confirms he's not, informing the class he previously lived where Rizzed Kamishiro was out here terrorizing streets, before relocating to this painfully boring town last December due to family drama. Moving along, she points out that under hobbies he listed hentai magazines and running mimicoin scams, but left his favorite food and everything else completely blank. She asks what he does on weekends. He says exactly what any lonely single like this loser would do.
This is gonna be a big one.
He also likes consuming industrial quantities of pizza and sugary drinks. He does it on Fridays at home while his mom is out to search for his dad, because he never came back from his journey to get milk. The entire class simultaneously flashes with the expression, just which alternate universe did this weirdo get ice-guyed from? Then he mentions that he watches anime, which lights Sophie up. She asks what genre, and he names titles that make the front row visibly uncomfortable. Sophie, using all two of her flat brain cells, promptly moves on. Next up, a baddie from Texas named Yui Amami. The entire class's posture improves by 30% the moment she stands up. Sophie immediately praises her and gushes over her blonde hair, declaring every girl must have envied her for that. Yui's expression says she couldn't care less. On her sheet, Sophie spots that she attended Tachibana Girls Middle School and asks, using a brain cell she clearly borrowed from someone else, if it's an all-girls school? Yui confirms it, explaining she got tired of a certain kind of drama and had enrolled in this co-ed school with her friend Umi Asanaji, who is currently sitting right next to her, giving herself an invisible skincare routine. She nudges Umi to go next. Sophie agrees. Umi introduces herself, same middle school as her, somehow ended up at the same high school, which she notes is a coincidence she's still processing. Meanwhile, two simps in the back corner are sharing their one collective brain cell, arriving at the mutual conclusion that their class might genuinely be the best one in the entire building, based purely on the opposite sex population. Back to Umi, who jokes that she's as sick of Yui as she is of YouTube's unfair policies, and asks the class to please help her find a boyfriend while she's here. Yui does not take this as a joke, telling her to stop treating her like some washed-up old person. Maki sits there listening to the simps losing their minds over these two chicks, privately concluding their class will orbit around them for the foreseeable future, while ugly background characters like the simps will remain completely invisible. As the school days pile up, and faster than you stalk girls after school, the two baddies are busy adding new people to their social circle, while Maki eats lunch alone, mentally reliving the introduction that permanently sealed his social fate. Because who in their right mind wants to be friends with someone who steals his mom's credit card to fund the ugly bastard lead hentai subscriptions? After school, students flood out to meet their friends at their various hangout spots, something Maki watches with quiet longing. Since birth, his mom has been his one and only friend. Once again, not the Alabama way, you creeps. He just doesn't want to die alone. But for now, he's getting by. Barely, but getting by. Next day in class, Yui celebrates surviving a full week of high school without getting a stress-induced heart attack from the Sims. She bends down on Omi's desk and pokes her head into her mass of distractions. She demands to be petted. Omi refuses, saying she would rather pet a wild male antechinus, which immediately sparks a debate between the Sims for the obvious reasons. Their collective single brain cell is clearly working overtime as they gawk at the two of them, one of them even announcing that Yui's smile personally gets him to climax on the spot.
That's not a good sign, is it?
Maki is complaining against YouTube policies on his phone and pretends none of this is happening. The Simp Brigade decides they simply must invite the girls to karaoke, because apparently an entire year can't go by without making some kind of move. Yui asks Omi if she has plans this weekend. Omi says she's planning to watch the redo of Healer. Yui asks, using the brain cell that apparently doesn't even know what year it is, neither if it's a romance or action film, but still insists to join anyway. Omi pulls out her phone and shows her the trailer. Immediately afterwards, Yui's face makes it very clear that her genre preferences lean significantly closer to 50 Shades of Grey. Omi knew from the beginning she wouldn't actually be into it. That's why she planned on going alone. Yui, however, changes her decision faster than Trump taking a U-turn and says she is absolutely into it and asks if it's on Netflix. Omi says no, and they walk past Maki as he gets up from his desk, and he overhears the whole movie conversation, quietly noting to himself that he sees nothing strange about Omi's taste at all. On the walk home, he passes by a group of dorks, laughing about an underwear thief who broke into someone's house, which randomly sparks a daydream about what it would be like to have actual friends, before he snaps himself out of it. He ducks into what is basically the Japanese version of Blockbuster, noting it's been a month since he stepped into a rental store, all thanks to streaming. He picks up a new release of High School DxD, but immediately puts it back and concludes that the new graphics doesn't hit like the early classics, so he decides to reach for something off the older shelf, only to collide directly with Omi. He apologizes immediately. She calls him a meanie, pointing out she had been standing right next to him the entire time and he never once noticed to say hello. His one brain cell cannot compute the fact that one of the hottest girls in class is voluntarily speaking to a guy like him. He starts stuttering something completely incomprehensible. She takes over effortlessly, noting that despite being in the same class, this is their first actual one-on-one conversation. In a moment of pure social self-sabotage, he asks if she didn't have plans today, immediately revealing he was eavesdropping on her conversation earlier like every other simp in existence. She calls him a rude boy that Kardashians would dump on sight. He apologizes in a tone that suggests he genuinely believes they might ice guy him on the spot. She laughs it off, saying their earlier conversation was so loud another school in another city could have heard it. Then she points at him and says she had a second goal today besides renting movies, and that goal was specifically talking to him. His brain exits the building entirely. She pulls out an introduction sheet with the exact same hobbies he listed, explaining she filled it out after his introduction because she'd been wanting to ask him about it ever since. She puts it away and asks for a movie recommendation. His single brain cell, finally given a task it can actually handle, immediately lands on one of his all-time favorites. My Former Delinquent Sister is a Nursing Mother. She finds the title objectively ridiculous. He explains the name is designed to make the show sound innovative and outside the box, which makes her actually laugh. She says it reminds her of a series called The Quasar of Stigmata. He knows it immediately, but recommends Aki Sora instead. And just like that, two people who had absolutely no business becoming friends, became friends. Which brings us back to the present. She shows up at his place with a bottle of roughly the size of a small child and a mountain of chips. She asks what he ordered. Pizza. He lists the toppings. She recites them along with him word for word, like someone who has been stalking for a decade. When Little Caesars arrives, they toast with cola instead of wine, celebrating another completed week. Omi immediately wants to know what game they're playing, fully expecting the Dream Daddy round 2. But he produces Doki Doki Literature Club from under his mattress instead. She tells him to bring it on. She's going to put so many bullets in him he'll feel it spiritually. He reminds her she hasn't won a single game since they started doing this. She refuses to accept this as relevant information. They play until sundown. She still loses. She is ready to physically assault the floorboards in frustration. Maki stops her, calmly informing her that aggressive floor stamping escalates to disturb neighbors, then escalates to invite FBI. She demands a rematch. He accepts, knowing full well that only 2 fictional characters have ever managed to beat him in gaming. They play until it's dark outside, and even they have to admit it's time to stop. Maki starts cleaning up. He goes to handle the glasses. Omi offers to help like a waifu, but he replies that even a baby can wash 2 glasses without any help, and declines, so she starts cleaning the floor instead.
We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
She abruptly winds up in a position that makes the camera angle very interested in the shot. Maki admires the view for approximately 2 seconds, but too long. She catches him in the act, and immediately calls him a frustrated goat. He denies it faster than Issei gets caught peeking at girls in school, claiming he was simply curious how someone who eats more fast food than a rich kid, who can only boil water yet maintains an Insta model figure.
Lord have mercy.
She simply says, exercise. She pokes his stomach, but the simp climaxes from a single touch.
Oh, what the f***? Bro, chill, bro.
Then starts tickling him as payback for every single game she lost tonight. Afterwards, he walks her out. She points out how much fun she had and reminds him that it's their 3rd hangout. She admits never actually thinking they would get along this well, but he explains it works because they have the same taste in basically everything. He calls her strange for bringing her chaotic rice cakes over to his place. She says it's not nearly as strange as him bringing a chick over just to stare at her. He denies this with the energy of someone whose mind was absolutely on target the entire time. She tells him they're going out next week and turns to leave. His brain catches up 3 seconds late. He stops her. Does she mean going out as in going outside, or going out as in she's asking him to be her boyfriend?
何?もしかして来週は都合悪い感じ?
She laughs, calls him a silly mooch, and clarifies, going out in the city just to explore normal teenage activities. He asks if it's just the 2 of them. She confirms it, and adds that she wants him to develop actual social skills necessary to fish high school baddies. Just like this ugly moron. But unlike this loser, her goal is to coach him on how to pick the right girl, the opposite of this dumb mooch, who chose a delusional otaku that rejected him twice in a single season. His single brain cell immediately accepts it. And later that night, his mom comes home, and Maki casually mentions he'll be going out with a friend. His mom's jaw nearly hits the floor. This woman has known this boy his entire life. In all those years, he never brought a single friend. She thinks her ears are playing tricks on her. She then runs to the bathroom to verify if her hearing is working. When Maki asks for extra money for the outing, she assumes he's being extorted for cash and refuses. He has to drill it into her head that it's a legitimate friend who is a real human being and not an imaginary one. She loses her mind with joy and hands him enough money for the trip, with some left over for a cultured anime DVD. He accepts. Character development is real. Next day, he walks in on the girls discussing some Twitch drama that Umi apparently missed entirely, which she apologizes for. While everyone else is busy chatting, Umi spots Maki across the room and signals him to come over. His Rizzless, terminally shy self remains completely seated. His one brain cell cannot process the task of walking across a classroom unprompted. At lunch, he texts Umi, and like any gold digger, she immediately asks if he got the money. He confirms it. She's excited, taking that as a sign he's treating her. He makes it clear, American system, 50-50, because he is not spending 10 bands on someone he's not even clapping yet. Bro is right, but also he's very right. He puts his phone away and starts quietly wondering if he's actually been a decent friend to Umi when he hears someone moaning nearby. He looks up and sees a boy approaching Umi with the unmistakable energy of a confession. Not wanting to witness this, he starts quietly packing up to disappear and walks directly into Yui and another girl. Yui recognizes him immediately. The other girl asks if she knows this dork. Yui confirms they share a class. They tell him to move his clapped face out of the way so they can eavesdrop on Umi's confession in peace. Their collective one brain cell finds this entirely reasonable. They stack themselves up trying to get a better angle. The boy finally asks Umi to be his girlfriend. And Umi, to the complete shock of everyone present, including every other simp who has spent a month building up to this moment, rejects him. Clean. Flat. No hesitation. This concludes our recap of the video. Thanks for watching. Also, subscribe to the channel to receive weekly anime recaps. Goodbye for now, and I will see you in the next video.